Hey everyone, welcome back to the Restart channel. If you're new here, I'm Shayda Torabi, co-founder of Restart. I'm also a cannabis advocate, educator, and soon-to-be mom. Today, I want to have a real conversation about cannabis use during pregnancy. This is such an important topic, and as someone who's navigating pregnancy myself currently, I know how many questions can pop up. So let's explore the science, the myths, and what you should consider when it comes to cannabis and pregnancy. But before we dive in, I want to start with an important disclaimer. I'm not a doctor, and this video is not medical advice. Please always consult your healthcare provider before making decisions about cannabis, CBD, THC, or hemp during pregnancy. My goal is to share what I've learned as a cannabis advocate and highlight resources to help you make informed decisions. So first, let's talk about why so many moms-to-be are curious about cannabis. Pregnancy is a beautiful journey, but it's also full of challenges like nausea, anxiety, insomnia, and pain, and naturally some women wonder if cannabis, hemp, CBD, or THC could be a natural way to find relief. CBD in particular is marketed as a non-psychoactive cannabinoid that has benefits for stress and sleep, but when you're growing a little human, the stakes are high and it's normal to want to double check everything that goes into your body. To start, let's break down some terms so we are all on the same page. Cannabis refers to both hemp and marijuana. Hemp is cannabis with low levels of THC, specifically less than 0.3% delta-9 is what is federally legal. And CBD is non-psychoactive, which is a compound that is found in the plant that does not get you high. Comparatively, THC is the psychoactive compound that does produce a high. Understanding these distinctions is key because they all interact with your body differently, and especially during pregnancy. So what does the research say? Well, it's a mixed bag, but here's what we know so far. THC does cross the placenta, which means it can affect your baby and your baby's fetal development, particularly the brain and nervous system. Research on CBD, however, is limited. While CBD is generally considered safe for the average adult, we don't fully understand how it interacts with a developing fetus. So products like CBD sublingual oils and topicals that have low levels of THC are considered more safe, but they're still largely unregulated, which means quality and safety as it relates to pregnancy can of course vary. It is important to note that most studies are either animal-based or observational, so there's no definitive answer yet. The sidebar of this is there's really not a lot of research being done on pregnant women as it relates to cannabis use. And so that's why you're not really going to find any definitive research studies being done. A lot of it's going to be anecdotal. And so while that can be helpful in you ultimately making your decision, just want you to keep in mind that you're not going to really find substantiated research and reports on this particular topic. Now, when I first found out I was pregnant, one of the first calls I made was to Leaf 411, which is a nurse-staffed cannabis hotline. And they specialize in helping answer medical questions, and Restart is a partner with them. So if you want to talk to them directly yourself, you can head to our website. We have a whole landing page for Leaf 411. Just hit it in the search bar. And I think they'd be a really great resource for you to have a one-on-one personalized conversation. But some of the things that they reiterated to me that I want to share with you are, yes, cannabinoids, including THC, do in fact cross the placenta. And again, while no studies explicitly prove harm, there's not enough data to call it safe either. In some cases, also, this is really important to understand, a positive THC screen during pregnancy could trigger Child Protective Services getting involved, and depending on your state or healthcare provider. And so I just think it's really important for you to understand, even if you live in a state where it is legal, let's say you're talking about general marijuana, or you're in a hemp-derived state like Texas and you're purchasing these products legally through hemp dispensaries like Restart, depending on where you give birth and who you're giving birth with, there could be some repercussions. So just want you guys to be clear about that. Now, when it comes to cannabis and pregnancy, here are some more things to consider. Not all products are made equal, so it's important that you do choose to shop from trusted sources that provide certificates of analysis for their products so you know the integrity and quality of what you're consuming. Even if you choose to use cannabis, the dose and how often you use it matters. So obviously you want to start with a low dose, you want to kind of test it, you want to see how your body and of course your baby is responding. And I would say if you're going to pursue using these types of products, I would always consult with a healthcare provider just to ensure that they can help guide you on that journey. And since research is limited, there's no guarantee of long-term safety effects on the baby. And so caution is always a good approach. Another thing to consider is inhalation of cannabis products versus ingestion versus topical, as I know that some women who have been navigating these pregnancy symptoms have felt safer, for example, using topicals compared to smokables. And conversely, I've heard from women who felt that a puff here or there was beneficial to relieving symptoms as needed compared to ingesting something that went through the digestive tract. I'll be real, early days of pregnancy, I was really sick with morning sickness and decided to look into what medication or over-the-counter drugs were approved. To be honest, I didn't love the ingredients of those products, so my brain naturally started are wondering, how could cannabis be any better or worse than this medication that is approved for pregnancy? However, it's hard to say explicitly that one thing is safe when it comes to cannabis and pregnancy. Of course, those over-the-counter drugs were researched, but anecdotally, again, I have heard many stories from midwives, doulas, and fellow moms who have confidently navigated cannabis use throughout pregnancy with no issues or side effects, which leads me to believe everything in moderation. You know your body best, ensure you have the right support team, and make the best decision for you, your body, and ultimately your baby. As someone in the cannabis industry and a mom-to-be, I approach this with so much caution. Personally, I've chosen to abstain from cannabis during pregnancy, and I'm very selective with the products that I would use if I was going to be consuming. Specifically, I would feel more comfortable with a topical of CBD that has no trace amounts of THC in it. But if you are someone who is happy to navigate cannabis use during pregnancy, please make sure it's from a trusted source with third-party testing like RESTART. And that's just, of course, my choice, but I have the support of my medical team. I've been very open and communicative to them. Every pregnancy is unique, so you need to do what feels right for you based on what information is available. So I want to share some additional resources that did help me navigate this journey. Dr. Janester Wilson-King, she openly discusses cannabis and pregnancy, weighing the risks and potential benefits. And then Dr. Peter Grinspoon, who's a Harvard physician who writes about cannabis safety during pregnancy on his Substack. Both I will link in the show notes below, but they gave a lot of good, well-rounded opinions. And hearing these diverse perspectives helped me feel empowered to ultimately make the right decision for me. I also interviewed a midwife who told me she consumed during all 3 of her pregnancies without any issues. And her message was clear though, whatever you choose, make sure you're comfortable living with the potential outcomes. At the end of the day, cannabis, THC, CBD use during pregnancy is deeply personal, and the most important thing is to educate yourself, consult with your doctor, and weigh the potential risks and the benefits. I know that wasn't super explicit on consuming cannabis during pregnancy or not. Again, I think it just goes to show that the topic is still very much a gray area subject. I just want to keep it real with you guys of what I've come across, what I'm learning, what I'm understanding, and the reality is I'm not opposed to it, but I'm also not explicitly for it. I think it really is a situational decision that you, again, need to ultimately make based on the circumstances and the information that you receive. So with that said, thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it helpful, give the video a like, hit subscribe on our channel, share it with another mom-to-be who's curious about cannabis and pregnancy. And if you have anything to add, let us know in the comments below. But otherwise, thank you. Stay informed, stay safe, and we'll see you back on the channel soon. Thanks.